The betrayal I have been predicting for a solid month finally happened. And in the very same episode, House of the Dragon reached across 170 years and connected itself directly to Game of Thrones. This is the penultimate episode, and it is setting the table for a finale soaked in fire and blood. So let's break down everything that happened. It all begins inside the mind of Helena. Now, if you followed this show from the start, you know Helena isn't just the quiet, forgotten queen. She is a dreamer, a true one. Back in season 1, she muttered that Aemond would have to close an eye, long before he ever lost it. She foresaw her own son's death before it happened. When Helena speaks, the future is speaking through her. And in this episode, we finally step inside her dreams, and every single one of them is a warning. In the first vision, she gives birth to her youngest son, Maelor. It should be the happiest moment of her life. Instead, she watches, helpless, as guards rip the newborn straight out of her arms and carry him away. It is a mother's worst nightmare, and knowing this show, it is almost certainly a glimpse of what is coming. Then the second vision, Helena is mounted on her dragon, Dreamfire, standing in the dragon pit of King's Landing, dressed for war. A mob of terrified small folk comes rushing through the gates, and she calls out, Dracarys. Fire pours out, and she burns them alive. The gentlest soul in this entire story, turned into a weapon of destruction. And then the third vision, and this is the one that made every Game of Thrones fan freeze. Helena is on a peaceful farm, in the sunshine, her children beside her, feeding the chickens. It is the simple, quiet life she has always secretly wanted. But then the sun goes black in a total eclipse. The temperature drops, snow begins to fall, and a cold, creeping fog rolls across the land, swallowing everything. If you've seen Game of Thrones, you know exactly what that is. That is the long night. That is the coming of the White Walkers. That is the Song of Ice and Fire. The prophecy Aegon the Conqueror dreamed of. The reason the Targaryens took the Iron Throne in the first place. And the exact threat that Jon Snow and Daenerys face at the very end of the entire saga. The show just reached across a century and a half to remind us what all of this bloodshed is really building toward. Helena isn't only seeing her own death, and her baby's death, and her dragon's death. She is seeing the death of the whole world. I did a complete breakdown of this prophecy on the channel. After this episode, it is essential viewing, so go check it out. But here is the part that seals Rhaenyra's fate. A desperate, unraveling Rhaenyra grabs Helena and demands that her visions reveal where her enemies are, as if prophecy were a map. And Helena refuses, because in all of her dreams, she has never once seen Rhaenyra sitting victorious. She has only ever seen Aegon return. Without saying a single word, Helena just told the queen the truth she cannot bear to hear. She is going to lose. And speaking of Aegon, the broken former king spent this whole season at rock bottom, scarred, humiliated, hunted like an animal through the countryside. In this episode, Rhaenyra's forces finally corner him, and it looks like the end of the line. And then, out of nowhere, the sky erupts. A dragon everyone believed was dead comes roaring back to life to save him, Sunfire. His magnificent golden dragon, so badly wounded at Rook's Rest that we all wrote him off, is alive. And something reignites in Aegon. He stops running. He remembers he is a king. And after an entire season of all of you asking me, over and over, where the dragons were, this episode, at last, the dragons danced. But the moment this whole season has been building toward belongs to the dragon seeds, the lowborn men riding Rhaenyra's most powerful dragons. Ormond Hightower, the smartest, most patient villain this show has ever produced, climbs the hill outside Tumbleton where the dragon rider Ulf sits keeping watch. And he doesn't come with threats. He comes with ale, he drinks, he flatters, and he reminds Ulf of every insult Rhaenyra and Daemon have thrown at him all season. And then he makes the offer Ulf could never refuse. Flip to the greens, and become the Lord of Driftmark, master of the tides. Ulf, drunk on the ale and drunker on his own wounded ego, agrees. Those who laughed at me, he says, are going to burn. And just like that, Ormond walks into the finale commanding 2 dragons, and Rhaenyra just lost one of her deadliest weapons without a single sword being drawn. This is exactly what I warned you about for a month. You do not hand a dragon to a man with no loyalty, treat him like dirt, and expect him to stay. And now the board is set, all of it converging on one place, Tumbleton, for the battle this entire war has been marching toward. Meanwhile, at the cursed castle of Harrenhal, Aemond has been reborn. Under the spell of the witch Ali's rivers, the broken prince we last saw crawling for his life is gone, replaced by something colder, sharper, and far more dangerous. A man who declares that a new dawn is coming. And straight into that darkness walks his own mother. Alicent arrives on a desperate mission from Rhaenyra. Lure Aemond out and end him, in exchange for her freedom. She gets close. She nearly poisons him, but Alicent isn't just up against her son. She is up against the witch. And Alicent stays 2 steps ahead and shuts the whole plot down cold. Alicent came to save her son, or to kill him, and instead she learned that the witch owns him now, completely. Away from the scheming, there is one rare, tearful reunion between sisters, a flicker of warmth in a war that has almost none left. But Rhaenyra and Daemon have gone ice cold, that lie about their son's killer still festering between them. And keep your eye on Adam, the last loyal dragon seed, because after Ulf's betrayal, everyone is going to ask the same question. Will he turn too? So here are my bold predictions for the finale. Number 1. The Battle of Tumbleton, and it is going to be an absolute massacre. I believe Hugh the Hammer flips too, joining Ulf to become the infamous 2 betrayers, their dragons turning on the Blacks in a bloodbath. Number 2. I think this is the end of the road for Ormond Hightower, the mastermind who finally dies in the battle he himself created. Number 3. Aemond returns on Vhagar, and we get the colossal dragon showdown this season owes us. And my boldest call of all? Helena's vision does not lie. Even if Rhaenyra wins the battle for Tumbleton, she has already lost the war for her throne, and for her soul. It is called Fire and Blood for a reason, and next week, we are getting both. If you are as ready for this finale as I am, hit subscribe so you're here the second it drops, and let's see how many of these predictions I nail. Ravens, recaps, and hot takes. I'll see you after the finale.